Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Total Annihilation Escalation match. Today, I have a extra special guest. I have the one, the only FN, the creator of the Tato website, who started playing in 2015, and he joins me today to provide additional commentary and inform me of why I'm all wrong about Total Annihilation Escalation. I jest, of course, but he'll actually be providing some additional commentary about this game that he's playing between himself and FEZ. So FEZ is starting out in the. Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thanks for the introduction. It's so nice to be here.
Excellent. I'm glad to have you. FEZ starting out bottom left. This is my understanding that this is a typical start build on Artificial Hills, which is a heavy-duty metal map. But if you want to talk about the starts builds here, let me know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so Fez is going for the standard, kind of what we've been playing for the last few years. 3 mechs, 3 solar in the lab, and you'll notice in the top right corner, I've gone for just 2 solars, and this is because if you build 3 solars, you're accessing energy from the start. If you only build 2, that's all you need in order to build a lab, and you're able to kind of get faster cons out or get faster units out without having to access.
So I do know that energy is a little bit of a premium in Escalation. So it looks like you're stalling here, but are you? Yeah, there you go. So yeah, a nice job there cleaning up the brush. And then Artificial Hills also has these bits of wreckage at each of the start positions, I believe. I don't know why I don't see one over here on the right.
Yeah, they're sprinkled around. There's maybe 4 or so of them.
So it looks like that's still hanging out. So you went a very quick weasel here. He's also returned the favor with a Fefe of his own. Very, very similar starts there. There you go. He's hosed out a bunch more solars. And I see you've gone wind. Speed things up here. So now this map, you can see there is a ton of metal. So each one of these, I think these are 2.2s. And so there's one here and one here. Meaning that it's really easy for cons to build quickly because they don't have to move. Like in this metal spot, there's a distance that the construction unit has to travel that on those quick little ones, they don't. Good little cleanup by Fez right here. Takes care of Fez's hapless weasel. He gets nothing for his trouble other than a little bit of harassment. And it looks like he has returned the favor up here. Fez's intrepid Fefe has failed to get so much as a single mex for his trouble. Fez expanding to the right, taking these hills with these lovely 2.3 metal patches. Again, really packed together. You can see here we have the steepness of these hills, so it's easy enough for a con vehicle to drive up.
Yeah, and those mech spots and the middle hill that are double next to each other, those are the first spots that you want to put your moho extractors or extractors on, because they will give you a lot more metal than even the richest single patches.
Yeah, and then you're basically getting two mohos for the price of one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a little bit less, but because I think they don't quite fully cover it. Quick little raid coming in. Fez, good on the intercept. Nice job by Fez right there to go ahead and turn around and pick up the other instigators. FN realizes, I'm pretty sure you recognize here, your best you were going to get was those mexes. You turn to take them out. Grab one mex for your trouble.
Yeah, and so what I'm doing here is I'm trying to split his forces up and just kind of lead him along on a chase. The more units I have of his chasing my raiders, the less that he can use to raid me. So I can expand more quickly and not have to worry about having to defend so much. I'm not even trying to kill anything, I'm just trying to distract. If I can kill something, that's great. But before you're able to gain enough map control and enough resources and kind of get your engine rolling, there's not so much of a point in raiding in order to try and kill you want to just try and push units on the enemy's side of the map so that they're distracted and they don't have as much to raid you with.
Yeah, it looks like Fez is responding with a single raid of his own, headed up north, and he is doing a wall of death right here with light laser towers trying to control the territory coming around this hill. So it looks to me like on this map, this area right here behaves like kind of a wide choke point. It's wide enough to get through, and stuff can come over the hill. But I think if you want to keep moving quickly, you gotta drive through the gaps. FN, nice mixing weasels with the instigators. Instigators can soak some of the damage. Weasels can put out a little extra. Here we go, we got a leveler. Any reason for using the leveler versus the flashes here?
Yeah, so the leveler, I started building these anyway since I had a lot of energy that I wanted to spend, and they're very good against flashes. You notice right there, I think just 2 levelers took out all of those flashes.
They just evaporated the flashes right there. So Fez, for his solitary raid up north, really doesn't get much, and now he's bringing in some additional units to see what he can bag. FN's radar comes up just in time to discover more flashes.
And here the levelers come back in, and there's nothing that Fez can do against those. He's got to pull back.
He just turns back immediately.
At this point, I think Fez would be well off to start building some warriors and javelins. K-Watts that have a little bit more range, more armor, and javelins which have a lot more range and can do a pretty good job at taking out those levelers from afar.
At this point, Fez 1 plant, FN on 3. Weasels and the levelers of units of choice. But here we go. Here's Fez's army in progress right here. He's cranking out some rockets on the side. There's a nice little mix of units right here. Cleans up that raid. So at this point, you can see it looks like Fez has kind of done a better job trying to close that gap and take his hill to the right. Although FN, your expansion looks to be a little bit more uniform, just kind of going out from your base.
Yeah, just like a blob.
You know, Fez is kind of playing the way a little bit more that I tend to prefer, where I like to control my gaps and then backfill the territory if I can. Because I find it's actually quite difficult to keep up with everything to blob out, especially if you have raiders coming in and disrupting your build queue. At this point, resources are fairly even. FN at around 80, Fez at around 75. Speed things up here. You can see FN just really filling in here. This is some nice building right here. But it looks like somebody may have forgotten. Do we not?
Yeah, I forgot the radar there.
Forgot the radar right there, and now they finally show up, and they show up on the radar a little too late. Free cons, come and get them. Fez taking down the defenses first before picking up his free cons. FN responding with a counterattack here into the wall of light laser towers. Those units die a quick death. However, there is no wall of light laser towers here, right. And so we can watch these levers just come through and completely hammering the vehicle plants. So FN's counter on the left side, the FS is wide open. A handful of missile towers and light laser towers to defend against what is a pretty powerful raiding force here.
Yeah, and you'll notice Fez is starting to excess metal. A lot of his production just got taken out,
yep.
And he's got to build that back up as soon as possible in order to get some storages up.
Yeah, it looks like he's focusing on build power here. You can see he's upgrading his geo. I don't know exactly how much those geo upgrades cost off the top of my head. Oh, and I missed this lovely by FN right here. He's gone air and escalation. Because of the prevalence of light laser towers, missile towers are not as common. Although FEZ is experienced, he's already got a handful of missile towers up to protect him from the bomber raids. One geo bombed out. FN, you gotta just sling bombs. Just gotta sling.
Yeah. Not the most effective raid, but
No.
I was trying to go for energy since I was thinking he might be accessing metal. The one thing you want when you're accessing metal is energy. So if I can deny that, I can put myself in a better position.
Yeah. Another push down in the soft section right here, but Fez has done his job and done some work to plug it. He's got a heavy laser tower up. It's not going to be enough, though. His advanced is not going to get finished. While we're busy here watching the action, FN is building away like a champ. He's already got his Tech 2 up, pushing out some Reapers. And I really like these units. I think they're fun. Excellent brawlers.
So Fez, I think, has his Tech 2 on the southeast island, or southeast hill.
Yep, there it is. And he's putting out these bandits. These are kind of like the Tech 2 flashes. I actually like the I like the effects on them.
They are stealth. They're relatively fast. They're kind of fast. They've got a little bit of armor, and they are tougher than they look.
Although I think the Reapers coming in will make quick work of them. There you go. You see the Reapers firing off the riot cannon. Oh man, but they don't have long enough range.
Yeah, the Reapers end up succumbing to these bandits.
Yeah, they got chewed up. Boy, I spoke too soon though. There you go, regrouping on the flatland. I think that probably helps you out. Fez doing a good job just kind of filling in. Few uncapped mechs in the back. FN doing better. I want to say you look like you're a little bit more. Yeah, actually, you still don't have your hill yet. So even metal, 103 to 103. Still got the weasels mixed in here. Are you still cranking them? Yeah, you are. Is this just for the big line of sight?
Yeah, it's the big line of sight. And also the psychological warfare aspect of it, seeing all those dots on your radar, causes enemies to overreact sometimes.
You can see how big the line of sight on the weasels is here. So you kind of have the ability to scout and know what you're up against. Bandits going in, doing bandity things. Bag and advanced con. Fez upgrading his metal production here on the right.
Yeah, mohos on a map like this are really important because there's so many mech spots, and TA is really about having a bigger production machine than your opponent.
Yeah, it depends on the map. I noticed that in Escalation, yeah, the war machine is a significant component. I would say probably more so than OTA. Now, do you have a specific technique you use to upgrade? Or do you just do one at a time?
Yeah, so I do one at a time. It depends on how many cons I've got and how much metal I have coming in. If metal is not cheap, then I will be doing them one at a time. if I've got a lot of things going on and there's wrecks on the field that I can claim, I will do as many as possible.
So you'll self-destruct like 4 or 5 and then just queue up 4 or 5.
Yeah, because I'll probably have maybe 7 or 8 cons, right? So I'll have 7 or 8 cons, both 4 or 5 mohos, and at the same time I've got air cons or T1 cons on the front lines eating up wrecks.
Now I see you're upgrading the 1.7s first, as opposed to doing the 2.0s. Whereas FEZ here, he's upgrading his 2.0s, dropping some bulwarks.
Yeah, I'm just upgrading whatever I can see, whatever the con's closest to.
Seems like a little bit like you're worried about those bulldogs breaking through using the bombers, but then now here comes the big attack down through the formerly vulnerable hole. A weasel makes quite a run. These flackers here, the phalanxes, they're to protect against the bombers. Lasers and bulldogs, I don't know how well this attack is going to fare.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how effective this was either. Probably better play would have been to hold them back a little bit, try and stage the fight closer to me so that I could eat the wrecks after it's done.
Nice job by FEZ, bringing these units in over the top, trapping FN's army, which looks like it will, well, be surrounded and destroyed. Oh, here we go. We have cavalry's here. So these guys do end up getting surrounded or destroyed, but the cavalry comes in. It looks like this might end up being a little bit more even fight than a full rout. Still, nobody's made a big play on taking the middle. Bulldogs come out on top. Let's see, we have the fusions with the adjacency bonus. Now, of course, this would be a no-no in OTA to build your fusions to the top, because then you could simply come up and off-screen bomb these. However, in Escalation, off-screen bombers doesn't work. That right there was the phalanx absolutely shredding those bombers.
Yeah, absolutely shredded.
Now, here we go. You can see FN's brought in a Goliath, bringing in the big old Goliaths to counter the bulldogs. Goliaths are slower than bulldogs, right? I know they are in OTA.
So. They kind of seem like they've got the same amount of velocity here, but
of course we are playing this at plus 10 speed. This would be nearly impossible to keep up with all this building at anything any slower. FEZ just getting big. Down south, you can see just territory-wise, it looks like FEZ is just kind of in more command. However, resource-wise, FN, I think you are ahead. You got more of your mohos going. You got your fusions operational. And I think we are. Yeah, I'm not seeing big fusion action from FEZ here yet. Maybe it's on his way. Here we go. You can see he's capping all his +2s.
Yeah, so, that's one thing that you really have to do in a map like this. You have to think big. You have to build big, and you just have to play for the long game, because there's so many opportunities for your opponent to get out of attacks or to use your pushes against you. For instance, if he is able to you send all of your units at once and he just reclaims them all, he's that much stronger, and you might have just sacrificed your advantage.
Yeah, it seems to me in Escalation, like being able to keep unit packs alive, just for the sheer, the fact that you have them. Seems to be almost more important than actually taking territory with them. So you can't just kind of casually throw units against the wall earlier in the game. Speaking of throwing units against the wall, here we go. FEZ testing the bulwark defenses. Of course, Goliaths and Reapers. Combo force here, Goliaths and Reapers versus the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs look like they're coming out way ahead. Although I think that's more metal worth the tanks coming from FEZ. see how much punishment these Goliaths are taking. They finally go down. So yeah, it looks like FN accessing metal big time at this point, coming in at 271. FEZ, I believe he's at around 280 himself, so yeah, resources staying relatively even. But FN, the force is through. You guys can see the featured Geo missile defense right here. Looks like it fires a little slower than Bulwark. How that's really neat right there. You notice the animation. It folds up its defenses. Still not good enough. FN manages to tag it before it's gone. FEZ making the play for the middle. And here we go. You can see these are the patrolling air cons to grab those resources, but you can see what they're doing is they've got their order of operations wrong. You want them here to reclaim, but they're busy trying to chase down and repair this Goliath.
Yeah, pretty sad, but I'm not exactly starving for metal at the moment.
Yeah, you've got other things you need to be doing. Advanced K-Bot lab down. Finally replacing that Moho. You can see here's cores upgraded with the riot cannon on top. Penetrators. Long range, single shot, low rate of fire, heavy duty damage. A large pack of these. What do these things go for? 1900. 1000 for the
yeah, that's a lot of metal I'm going to miss right there.
Yeah, that nice job by FN right here to keep him off of the hill where all those resources are. Cans are in the mix too. This is a Big Bertha. Escalation Big Bertha. Little bulwark creep here. You can see what those scouts are doing right there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe what you just did is an attack scout. In Escalation, I believe you're allowed to do that, where you can hit an attack with your scouts and they'll fan out.
Yes. That is what that is.
So you get a little more bang for your buck with your scouting. I notice you're staying really heavy on the offensive here, even though FEZ is really not given much.
Yeah, so the strategy that I'm taking in this game is playing to Core's advantages in Escalation, which are lots of HP and slow-moving units. So I'm just kind of throwing these really, really tanky units in a constant stream to prevent FEZ from gaining any territory, while I slowly tech up and slowly gain more production. You'll notice that he's pretty much into the south of the map, and I am able to keep the top and keep him out of the mid, and also he's having to build a lot of defense, and defense can't move and attack me, so that's fine with me.
Yep, he's built lots of things that don't move here. And yep, FN's just started to take the middle. Nice, one of these big mohos on the double. Yeah, by keeping the pressure on and just keeping the attack going, you can really keep your opponent kind of on the back foot, where they feel like they're in trouble, even if they might not actually be. See, FN's just really, really come alive here, resource-wise. Let's see, here's some uncapped and still T1 mexes in the back. FEZ has likely queued up all these, versus a smaller number of them.
Yeah, I'm building a lot of energy storages to try and avoid accessing too much energy here.
Now, you also can see these energy storages here. They've got, with their glowing white, they have an adjacency bonus. Energy storages produce energy if they're next to other energy storages. And Escalation. Doomsday Machine on the hill there. Now, do Doomsday Machines outrange penetrators, right?
I think they're around the same range, but Annihilators outrange both.
Okay, yeah, so the big arm version. T3 spotted. But T3's already down. And you can see that FEZ has also dropped some mantles, including this upgrade center. Which you get a lot of mantles.
Yeah. I am building a lot of mantles right now, and that's why you'll notice my metal is way up right now.
It's skyrocketing. Yeah, you're up to 437 versus FEZ's around 300 still. T3 is almost done from FEZ. And a Juggernaut. Why don't you tell us why Juggernauts and what do they do?
Well, if you look just a little bit over to the left right there, you see all those penetrators he's got in bed. That's what Juggernauts eat for breakfast. They have a very heavy penetrator diet. And the penetrators for the last, I want to say 20 minutes were what was staving off my Goliaths and Reapers on the left.
Yeah,
so
with
a Juggernaut
slow moving units, it gives them plenty of time to get hit by the penetrators as they're coming in. There we go,
yeah.
And the Juggernaut is done.
This thing will just shoot a cannon that will just totally annihilate those pens.
I see what you did there.
And a lot more too. But I only need one. And the next T3 unit I'm building is the Arbitrator, which is a kind of like a walking tac nuke. And I'm going to use that to take out his T3.
His T3 is already on its way, and looks like he is putting out a Centurion. And notice, it doesn't look like he pushed out any cons. Or maybe he did and I'm just missing it. And you say this is rough. Big Bertha is up and firing. You can see that bigger shell shot. Looks like he's trying to take out some metal. And it is time for arbitration. That one sound you heard, I believe that is the sound of the Juggernaut fire.
Yeah, so Wotan's made the shells that the Juggernaut shoots a little slower moving, so it actually looks pretty cool.
Here comes the Vamps to come in and clean out, push the Brawlers away. There's some ground Jethros right here, anti-air. Arbitrator is coming in for some arbitration. FEZ pushing out some Centurions. He's got these slingshots. These are the really fancy anti-air. He's also building a Tantalus. That is a jammer, is that right? There we go.
Yeah, it's the Omni radar.
Now, do you have to build the missiles in this? Or does it...
No longer. You just point and click.
So...
Point and shoot.
Does it have a slow rate of fire, or does it just...
It's a pretty slow rate of fire.
Okay. But it was fast enough there where it knocked out that T3.
So the theory behind that was it only took one shot to take out the T3. It knocked out all the air cons, and the explosion from all of the hovering air cons destroyed the T3 lab.
Although it looks like you would have been able to fire 2 missiles down there with impunity.
Oh, absolutely. I've got the mid, so that is what I'm doing. And it is very demoralizing to just get shelled by arbitrators in the mid.
FEZ says, Metal wants to know, is he in trouble? He's got 400 right now himself, but FN, you are on 619. Metal cranking out a Talus. Some T3 tanks are getting hung up on some wreckage. And here we go. Now, is this a good use of the Juggernaut? Just kind of walking in?
Maybe not the best use, but why not?
It's extra tanky.
Yeah.
See, it's not getting to take full advantage of its range, and it's trying to shoot down hogs. Let's see the T3 Centurions blasting Goliaths. Goliath goes down, but there's more arbitration coming in here. And FEZ gripes about the arbitrator, saying there's no way to counter. I don't know, FN, is there a way to counter these missiles?
Yeah, the one thing you've got to do is you have to take territory. You have to push it back. You can't let it get this close.
So is it weak enough where he could bring these brawlers in and try and snipe them?
It is, but I do have a lot of vamps. And if you tried to take it out with the brawlers, I would take out the brawlers.
So bombers then would be effective at dealing with your arbitration?
Maybe, but at the same time, they will get taken out by anti-air as well. The thing you've got to, if you're playing even head-to-head, Nova is the option to use. The T3 ARM equivalent, the counterpart, which is basically like a walking Big Bertha.
Here we go, yep. More than enough Hawks to handle the shot. Arbitrator took a decent amount of damage there, but not enough where we have gotten a settlement yet. FEZ says, okay, GG, and he surrenders. The arbitration was just too much for him, and he is out. And at that point, yeah, that's probably right. I think the game was slowly going to fold. He didn't really have an answer for the arbitrators. And see here, we got our productions. FN really cranking out the metal there with a cool nearly 1,916,000. And yeah, so I think for me it looks like that just kind of came down to the way you were attacking and the way you were building. Even though you didn't have your hill, you were still managing to keep up with him, and then just really came alive with the resources and the aggression. So and yeah, FEZ was just kind of, even though he was even with you, he probably didn't feel like he was even with you.
Yeah, I think that as long as you've got the advantage, you can just continue to build units and preserve that advantage. You don't need to take the whole map in order to beat someone. But as long as you can turn the tide in your favor and do things that will keep it in your favor, you can win the game the fastest way that way.
Alrighty. So now for those joining us today, make sure you go and you check out FN's Tata website, or you can download this very game that we just watched if you want to see all the things that I didn't get. You can also go and grab Escalation if you have not already, and check that out. And then FN, you've also got a YouTube channel if you want to go ahead and shout that out and let us know where to find you.
Yeah, check it out at FN202 Taste VODs.
All right.
On YouTube.
Yep, and I'll make sure, I know I've got that listed as a featured channel in my description, so if you guys go there, you can check it out. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit like as well if you have not already, leave a comment, and make sure you go check out FN's channel. All right, everybody, you take care. Bye-bye.
And Poison TA.
Yes, indeed. All right, take care. Bye.